So 85% of men that I polled stated that they were unhappy within their job role. 85%. And I sent this to my email list of 10,000 guys. 85% is such a high percentage of people that are waking up, going to their job, working for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours and being unhappy. And for me, that's the definition of misery. And you would think that because we spend so much time, energy and focus on in our workplace, we spend more time, energy and focus within our workplace than we do anywhere else from the age of about 18 to the age of probably 65. So you would think that the choice of job or the effort that you have when you look for a job or a business would be high on your priority list. And I'm going to reveal later on the number one reason why people aren't changing. Because to me, it's baffling that you would stay in a situation within a job, within an environment, around people that you are unhappy in. And it's the same with the relationship. If you're in a relationship and you're unhappy in that relationship, then why would we stay in that relationship? And I know that sometimes it's not as easy as just getting up and looking for a new job or getting up and looking for a new relationship. But we can come up with an action plan, which are some of the things that we're going to talk about today, right? So when we're looking at being within a job or running a business that we're actually not entirely happy with, and let's unpackage that. When we say we're not unhappy with, so it could be work demands. So they could be unrealistic, unsustainable, meaning that, you know, you're expected to do so many hours. You're not expected to be able to see so much of your family. The demands and the pressure are so much that they put you under stress in your health, which then affects the possibility of having a stroke, which then affects your physical, mental and emotional health. And these are the things that can have a direct effect on the way that you live your life. And I speak to lots of guys who are hitting burnout, who are hitting unsustainable routines, who are not being able to connect with their family, who are not being able to focus on their health. Listen, if you can turn around to me and say, oh, work is taking over my life, then why are you staying in that job? If you are just not living a life, if you're waking up and you're going into the system and you're working this system and you are getting smashed to pieces and it's affecting your health and your relationships, then why aren't we going through the process of planning to exit that job and start looking for a new job? And it's the reason I'm going to come to a little bit later. I'm going to talk about when asked, those guys that I asked, the standout thing that stops them moving on, I'm going to share with you in a minute. So then it comes to how do you cope in those circumstances within a job role, within a working environment that you're unhappy with? And the truth of the matter is, having done this job for a long time now and having come across multiple different personalities of men, the answer is that men don't. And this is where I almost think there is an element of mental health issues, emotional stress and physical burnout. In fact, it's probably a high stem from men not enjoying their job role. Okay. And it's like a ripple effect. It starts here, where the trigger is, where you're constantly waking up and spending the majority of your time, your energy and focus within an environment that really you hate, whether it's the people, the pressure, the job role, but then it ripples all the way down here, and then we start drinking to help us cope with that unhappiness. We then start comfort eating to deal with that. We then start talking quite negatively, and we become quite bitter because of that issue of the job. That then starts eating into the relationships. That then starts affecting the connection with the children, with the wife. And then that starts going down that road. Then you start putting on weight. Okay, then you start struggling to cope, and it's bang. So why don't we change? Why aren't guys changing their job roles? Why aren't they changing the situation for the better? Well, some are. You know, there's a lot of guys that I've worked with, especially over the last couple of months, who are starting to see the light and going, this is not the direction that I want to go. And the one thing that stopped them or prevented them or made them procrastinate, and the one thing stopping most people, was the one standout thing in that poll, and that was fear. Fear, okay, of the unknown. So in my own experience, there are two different fears. There's the fear of the unknown and the fear of the known. So one thing you're guaranteed is that if you stay in your job role, if you stay within an unhappy environment within work, you know that fear of staying in the same situation, the same unhappiness, if you're 40 for the next 28 years. So you can guarantee that you're going to have that fear of staying the same, being in the same environment, being unhappy for the next 25 to 28 years. Okay. Then you have the fear of the unknown, which is leaving something that you know, which you might not like, but then you feel comfortable in, like because actually you've got a job. But then if you start this 6-month process of getting out of that job or changing business, or changing different business idea, or wanting to create a business idea, and you go through this 6-month period of slowly interviewing, building your CV, building the confidence, and it's not a case of just quitting your job, is it? It's a case of planning ahead and going 3, 6, 9, 12 months from here. Where am I going to be? How do I get out of this situation? But again, it's that fear of stepping into the unknown. One of my own clients, who I work with in the elite squad, was exactly the same. Just wasn't challenged anymore. Didn't get anything out of the job anymore. Went for the new job, got the new job, then suddenly started feeling that fear. Is this the right decision? Am I going in the right direction? And it turned out to be, yes, it was the right decision. But I feel that if you are unhappy, you only get this one life, and we always talk about this, and it's cliche, but you do. And I don't believe that you were put on this planet to go and work, to build up this corporate company, or to put your mental, emotional, and physical health on the line for another company. You know, and if it's your own business, it's that battle of trying to find the balance, okay, of not throwing and killing yourself into a business and making sure that you have your own space, okay? But the good thing is it's your project. And I think it's really important to understand that actually I would much rather go for the fear of the unknown than going for the fear of knowing that I'm going to be miserable for the next 25 years. I don't know about you, everybody's different. But you know, one of the things that I was doing in a case study sense is that if I woke up and I was like, I'm not really enjoying this job, I'm not really enjoying coming into work or going home, the way that it makes me feel, the pressure and responsibility that's been put on me, I'm going to do something about it. I would certainly look at my CV and develop it. I would certainly look at different roles. I would certainly look at different retraining. I would certainly look at where my life could be in the next 6 to 12 to 2 years. 6 to 12 months, 2 years, and start thinking about the bigger picture. And instead of being turbo, like reactive and quitting, I would think more about how do I make sure that actually in the long run that I'm going to be happier, i.e. retraining, i.e. replanning, going on interviews, building a confidence, getting an idea of a company's culture, thinking about a business that you want to develop, building a product that you want to develop, whatever it might be. But rather than sitting there taking punches in the face every day for the next 25 years, surely that's got to be quite beneficial. It's open to each and every one, right? Listen, I hope that's helped. It's just purely an insight. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this, if it's something that you're going through. I think maybe some of the comments that you can share in terms of in the comments could inspire other people. Equally, if you love your job, why do you love your job? So that some people don't even know what loving your job looks like. Do you know what I mean? So I think your comments can really play a huge part. Hope that helps. Just a reminder, this is the last week of shows and then we're taking a week off. So I'll see you Wednesday.